reality of phantoms and monsters. They exist among us, and sometimes they win. Even the devil was an angel once. The world has its own rules, and these rules are not human. Some of us seek answers to the origin and existence of cryptids and the unexplained. Join us as we venture beyond the known and accepted boundaries. Welcome to our nightmare. I think you're going to like it. Hey folks, good evening and welcome to Phantoms and Monsters Radio, where we explore and discuss the unknown and the unexplained. I'm your host, Lon Strickler. Thanks for joining me. So the Phantoms and Monsters radio channel is made possible by you clicking the subscribe button and by sharing our programming. Now, super chat donations are essential for us to continue offering you our unique content. So your consideration is very much appreciated and needed. So over a decade ago, David Eckhart and his family began to endure numerous abductions and close encounters in their home near Pensacola. The encounters have continued, though the activity has evolved over time. David's ordeal has been thoroughly documented because of his determination to learn why he was chosen. I've assisted David in his journey since 2010. His story was presented on Fact or Fake, the Paranormal Files, which resulted in one of the series' highest rated episodes, namely because the team could not debunk David's claims. So during the years, David has procured unique photographic evidence using improvised methods in order to present his findings to the world. And David's story can be found in my book, Alien Disclosure Experiences Expose Reality. So, David, thanks for coming on tonight.
Thank you for having me, Lon.
Wow, we haven't talked in a while.
Right, I know we've been both busy, haven't we?
Yeah, I know we have. So, the first thing I want to ask. Now I know you've had a lot of different investigators over there at your place. You've been doing a lot of different things. Kind of give us an update of what's been going on over
there. As far as the investigators, I have Outcast Paranormal. They coming out again. They was pretty much floored by what they was experiencing the first time they was here. And they're bringing better equipment, more equipment, and some electronic experts. With this Geiger counter, it counts, radiation per minute, how much it goes, and we're hitting some pretty high tags on radiation as far as background radiation is like 12 or 13, something like that. We've been hitting in the 80s and 88. I think it's the highest we hit when a portal opens up. So that helps out with the proof too. How high it go. Radiation is good for anybody. But yeah, they're coming out with a guy, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this now, but he's gonna try to set up where we can open up a portal ourselves, and I'm interested in how he's gonna do that. I mean, I got some details on it. Sounds promising, but we'll see. That'd be cool to meet them on their own terms. I'm not opening these portals; they are opening them, and you cannot go through unless they take you. You vibrate at the right frequency in order to go through. And we vibrate at like 7 or something like that, 7.3 hertz or something like that. But they said the fourth dimension, and that's yet to be confirmed. But I'm sure you have to vibrate whatever the fourth dimension is to go there. I came back on my own, never gone there on my own, but I have came back on my own. So and see what else has been going on. It got really busy at the last investigator that came through, and he came from Ontario, Canada. His name's Johnny. I I'm not going to disclose his last name in case he doesn't want it out there. But
well, Johnny D, he just put, and I want to thank him. He just put a donation through, so I appreciate that. Go ahead.
Okay, good. Yeah, we've become pretty close friends now. He brought family down for me to meet him and everything. Everybody's wonderful. And he got some footage where he's here, but I don't know how much he's gone through it and stuff. But I put a video out with him here, and they was hiding behind my TV set, and that's without a reflection. But they was definitely here. He could feel it and detect them and sense them. He's had some experiences himself, so he knows what I'm dealing with. So him and his family. So
let me ask you this: you've had these investigators down there. You've had people looking at videotaping and such. Is there going to be a documentary eventually coming out about what's going on?
I was told that after the second time they come down, they're going to put the first one and the second one together and put out a bunch of tic-tac.
Getting some buffering.
Yeah, they're going to put out some teasers.
Okay.
And that's going to be on YouTube that they're going to do that on. So
okay.
I did put out an advertisement on it. So when the first one's coming out, I don't know, but
okay. Yeah, I seen you in posting things on TikTok. So I would suggest anybody who wants to keep up with David, because he does post a lot on TikTok. If you go to his TikTok account, what is the TikTok account? What's the name again?
It's Eckhart David. It was the number 2.
Okay.
Eckhart David 2.
Okay.
So it's
there's a lot up there.
Post daily. Yeah, I'm busy as hell all the time. I don't have time to be doing this, but I still put it out there because everybody appreciates it. Everybody's been great on my TikTok. I really appreciate them all. So,
well, I had talked to now Olivia, who had been working with you at the first time when Outcast came over there. Her and I had talked a bit. I haven't talked to her lately, but I do know when she was over there that she was experiencing. She experienced some attacks actually. I mean, she was showing me the bruising and stuff that was going on with her. What do you attribute to that? I mean, attribute that to? Why was she being attacked? Do you have any idea?
They were super interested in her when she first came in because I was taking some pictures of her and they was all over her. And it was all over her. And it's kind of funny that our birthdays are on the day too. But it was all over. I just trying to tie maybe the birthdays together, maybe I don't know the day or whatever. But our birthdays on the same day. It's kind of crazy. And yeah, so I'm just putting that out there that maybe that might be a connection. But yeah, they were super interested in her. She had her experiences here. So I forgot to make her up a T-shirt saying I stayed the night at Eckhart's house. But I survived it.
Well, we'll see. I'm going to make my way down there at some point, and I think Jennifer and I both are going to come down there. So we'll see if we survive it. I'm hoping we do.
We'll have you a T-shirt made up. But Jennifer's been really good. She's helped me out with some information that I was looking for. She's a great girl. She got connections. She knows how to tie into them.
Yeah, she does. So let's kind of go back in time with the as far as when you started experiencing the abductions and the encounters and such. You at the time you were dealing with the smaller beings, probably the grays, and you had a particular reptilian that was kind of your tour guide or the one that was involved with your abductions. How has that changed over time? How many different sets of how have they evolved, the groups that have been involved with your encounters?
Lots of different groups. It seems like it's they leased it out time with me to come in, and each one has their own agenda. The group, I haven't seen them in a little while.
Mm-hmm.
The original group, but I have seen the female that's in charge still. She's still in charge. Her name is Beth. She's part reptilian, part human. And she dresses as if she was human, you know, in the doctor's coat and the, you know, the white coat and everything. She wears blue jeans. But when they first took me to meet her, mad as hell that I was even in there. But because the reptilian guy, you know, they don't always send in the best of the best to come and get me. So it's easy to trick them. And I told him I wanted to speak to somebody in charge, and he took me all to her. I didn't know that she was the lady that was in charge the first time around. But he brought me to this room, and it looked like I was looking at the planet, and there was an atrium there, and it had a bunch of dead plants in it, and they had a bunch of computers and stuff, and they was looking at some kind of paperwork or something, and she looks at me and the reptilian that brought me to her, and says, "What's he doing here?" He says he wants to speak to somebody in charge. And she said, "Get him the hell out of here now." He said, "Well, he wants to speak to somebody in charge." He says, "Get him out of here." She was mad. But he took me back. But yeah, I'm still dealing with her, and she looks out for me. And I think if it wasn't for her, I'd probably be dead for some of the stuff I pulled on these guys already. Because she said I belong to her.
Okay.
I know what this stuff sounds like, but yeah, she said I belong to her. But anyways, that she looks out for me. She's like a guardian angel, I guess. But
well, you know, as far as what I've written about you in the past, I haven't really got into anything as far as with Beth and some of the things that have happened since the reptilians had stopped coming in and coming into your place. And but you know, I'll be honest with you, over the years it's evolved into so many different things. It's kind of hard to keep track of with you because
it is.
You know, I know you've devised various ways to capture them on film. What method are you using now?
I'm using several different types of methods. I'm using the concave mirror, which is behind a 1 gallon water jug. To other people, I can still see what's going on with myself, but it's hard to capture on camera. But this clears it up for me. And I just ran across it. I was not the person that discovered this originally. It was a Russian scientist. And NASA took it seriously that they're using it on their photos too. So, and I just found this out recently. But I thought originally I came up with it, but I can't take credit for it when there was a Russian that did it. So, scientist that did it, and they didn't take him seriously, but NASA did. But but I use a container that's like a bowl type thing. It's like a ball. And it's stainless steel, and that captures the image pretty good too. Because what I'm doing is I'm slowing down the speed of light, and it makes it easier to capture an image of what's going on or who's in my room. And I better picture because they look like the Predator type character when they're in the room, you know, pixelated and stuff. When they move, you can see them pretty good. But when standing still, they can blend in really well. So it's hard. You can smell them. You can sense that they're there, but you can see them out of your pervicular vision. People know that it's experiencing this. They know what I'm talking about. Everybody sees things out of the pervicular vision. It's looking dead at them is our blind spot. So it's but your pervicular view, you can see them pretty good. They look like the shadow, you know. But anyways, and I use just various techniques. I've used crystals, and that works pretty good too. And diamonds work out. It's the way it's cut. So, but they're right around us. You know, if they're interested in you, they're right around you. You would never even know it. I mean, you eventually figure it out, like we did. But, but yeah, the common person that you wouldn't even know that it was there, and that's the scary part.
Well, yeah, you know, I do, I've been involved with your case now for, well, I've known you for almost 11 years, maybe 12 years now. And I remember you telling me from the very beginning that they knew that I was involved with this, that I was helping you. I was telling your story. I basically almost had to get permission to do it, actually. We just got another donation from Higher Ground. I thank you for that. And since that time, I have had encounters. I've had 2 encounters at home with 3 tall gray beings. I don't know if you've ever encountered them, but it would always, these 3 would always come together. I had 2 encounters at home, and then I eventually was taken back in the end of 2015. And all this stuff started the year my wife was sick. And then after she had passed, I had the abduction. And I'm pretty sure all this is related to you. I mean, they never actually told me it was, but I felt it was. I felt there was a connection there. And you said something interesting tonight when we were trying to get you.
They start getting visitations. They were.
What's that?
Losing everything. You there? Yeah.
Yeah. And I talked tonight when you were having issues connecting back up. You said that you heard Vincent and I talking when you weren't connected. What happened there? You think?
I don't know. That was the first time that's happened. I was hearing you talking about me logging out and everything, and I could hear you talking, but I wasn't even connected to the webcam or anything. And I could hear you talking to Vince.
Well, that doesn't
weird or what? I mean,
that doesn't surprise me. I've got things going on around here, and that doesn't surprise me at all. I've got people tell me during the show that they see something back here in the hallway while I'm doing the show, and there is something that does show up back there, and I know it. I feel it. So I don't know if that's associated with what has been going on or not, but it is interesting. So what you said tonight was kind of interesting. I think maybe something has been opening up. That wouldn't surprise me whatsoever, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's it has to be a portal open, because I don't see none, but I clear as day, it was your voice and what you were saying and everything. I was like, that was the first time it's happened for me, but it's just amazing. I couldn't believe it. So,
Johnny,
I show up behind that door behind you.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I tell you now, you and Vincent got together before the show, and I think he put together a bunch of your newer images and a few other things. So I don't know. Did you want to comment on some of these?
Well, right there, there's a reptilian. It's not very clear, but I drew him in so everyone can see him. But that is a picture of a reptilian right there, a big guy, and right there, that's what it looks like. I mean, it was kind of blurry, but that's what it looks. That's why I got blurry. That's a quick shot. It's like now. Trying to take pictures of 4-dimensional entities with a 3-dimensional camera is not easy, and get a clear picture. That if you get a clear picture, you got something. About every 1,000 pictures I take, I get a pretty decent one. Out of 100 pictures I take, I get an okay one. It's like I'm waiting for the really good one. Well, I do get a video of one that's I probably could never post, but it's pretty cool. But it was one eating another one's brains out of its head. I got a video of that. I was sitting in my office when I got that video. But
it was something else that has turned up. We've been doing this investigations in Chicago, and some of these unseen ones, I believe, have been showing up in your place as well. Some of the photos were of these unseen ones. I mean, Jennifer said exactly that's what it was. And I know you had mentioned to me once before that you thought they would probably show up some point at your place. Oh, yeah. Okay, I think he's buffered. Okay. So, David, I got a question here from somebody. Let me ask you. Maybe you can answer this from higher ground. He asks, how safe it is for a friend to come visit you for a bit, and why has the activity been going on at both houses?
They follow me around. I go to a hotel room. Within 15 minutes of being there, they're showing up.
Really?
I can't get away from them. Yeah, I've tried. Me and my wife tried it several times, and I just asked for my money back, and I would go back home. Yeah, they know where I'm at all times. But is it safe? I can never guarantee that, but it will change your life forever. And is that safe? Some people don't do very well afterwards. They just don't do very well because it changes everything that you ever knew that you believed that was true. It changes everything. And it's tough to deal with things after that. It really is. That's my new doctor right there and his family. He looks a little bit overweight in that one, but he's really quite thin. And that is his wife and his child down there in that photo.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, this one here, this is one of them you sent me a while back. It's in the book. I get a lot of comments about that one.
It's pixelated. That's what they look like, like that. It's when they're pixelated, like the Predator.
Okay. Interesting. So what kind is that? Is that a reptilian?
I don't know. It looks like a mask that he's got on.
Yeah.
Looks like a mask right there. The other one looked like reptilian, but yeah, you see, it looks like he got a mask on to me. But they do wear masks and costumes to disguise their identity.
I remember you telling me that they show up in masks occasionally. And here's another one I get a lot of comments on as well.
Yeah, that's a reptilian, or it looks like he's a half breed or something between a reptilian and a gray. But the grays, those are covers that they're over their eyes. Those are like lenses or whatever. But their eyes are really quite beautiful inside. The one that had his face up close to me is gold color eyes, and they're slitted in the middle, and he had his face right in my face, and I was looking at the depth in his eyes, and it was like just astounding, just beautiful. And it's undescribable how, and they got big eyes, they do, but those are covers on their eyes. They're not black. So they come off.
Here's an interesting question I got from Nancy. She asked, how long a trip does most of these beings make in the portals? I mean, from your place to where they take you, how far is it? How long does it take?
Instantaneously, almost. There's a buffer zone between the portals, between the worlds, and this is where they get irresponsible with, because there's things in between that buffer zone that comes in with them. Things that you would call scary stuff, demonic or whatever. They're just irresponsible with it, and they have rules and laws, targets, but not everybody follows the rules. So.
I remember you telling me previously that there is a buffer zone. It's kind of like, I don't know, when you would go through the portal at your old place into your in your bedroom, and there was like an area where you would wait, and you go into go into their world, or go into the area where they are. Okay, here's another one from higher ground. What if one of these beings is a lifetime, what if someone is a lifetime experiencer of cryptids and reptiles? How might this individual react?
It's hard telling. For each person would be different. I know everybody that I've introduced this to is different. Their reaction is different. I had a female friend that wanted to experience it. Up right next to her, she was squealing like a little pig, and pictures of it too. And but she was safe. I mean, she's still alive to this day. I mean, but yeah, they all react differently. They really do, and sometimes they go into denial. Sometimes they go into depression. Once you know for sure that it's absolutely real, yeah, everybody has a different reaction to it.
Nancy wants to know how they, what their attitude is toward humanity as a whole. And I know the reptilian that used to be involved, it didn't particularly like humans. I don't know if he even liked you, but I know it was his duty, and that's what he did. And Beth as well. How does Beth act the same way?
Beth act which way? I don't know what's going on, but yeah, Beth is all I can say about Beth is she's pretty laid back and she's cool. She's very job oriented with her duties and everything. She lives, eats, and sleeps her job. I found out that from our mutual friend, a female, is that we're sort of like twins on the other side. We don't look like this. These are our avatar bodies, basically to say, but we don't look like this inside of our bodies. You know, our
Right.
souls are different from what we look like. It's kind of astounding, and I got to see mine. But what was Nancy?
Yeah, she wanted to know. I mean, she just wanted to know what their attitude is toward humans, basically.
Oh, they're all different. The younger generation wants to integrate with us. The older generation, they're pretty much prejudiced towards us. We're like treated like third class citizens on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Like you would treat your dog. Let's just say that. Yeah, and you know the children over there like living dolls for their children. They're good company. They can do house chores and everything. But humans are a commodity on the other side.
Yeah,
they really are. We're not treated like the best of the best, but we're tolerated when we're over there. So, good question.
I guess over time you still haven't really figured out why you were chosen, have you?
No, they said when Outcast Paranormal was here, was doing a EPA or whatever they are, where you ask questions and they pick up a signal and gives you answers. But they said that I will find out when the time comes, but they can't tell me because knowing the future changes the future. So if they tell me, then I might do something opposite. I just hope it ain't something really stupid. But I mean, I know. I mean, it's like yeah, I don't want to do something really stupid and be remembered for it. But I got up one night to go get a drink of water, and in my dining room table it says Heritage House on it, and I could not tell where the light was coming from. I put my hand above it. It wasn't coming from above or the sides. It was like just there. I could not explain it. I took pictures of it and posted it. It says Heritage House, and it had some hieroglyphs up underneath it. Matter of fact, I think Vince got a picture of it right there. Heritage. That's on my kitchen table, and it says Heritage House. I put my hand over it and everything.
I remember you telling me about that a while back.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a PM or something on the bottom of it. I have nothing in my house that do something like that, but that's zoomed in. But what does that mean? I don't know. I really don't know. But I mean, but that was pretty cool. I could not figure it out. And right there, they send me messages since they're not allowed to talk to me, but their cursive writing is not very good. But it says, is David something? And this is, I can't make it all out, but I tried to UFO, maybe that says they need to improve on their handwriting. But they send me messages, the younger ones do.
Okay.
They seem to like me. So
okay.
And there's some hieroglyphs right there.
I've always been interested in that. That photograph is that's an interesting photograph. I've tried to do all kinds of things with that, tried to enhance it and all, and I still hadn't been able to figure out what to do with that. But you say that is hieroglyphics of some type.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea what it means. I sure like to know what it does mean, though. But you can see it looks like a guy sitting down in a chair with a monkey there, maybe. Uh, and that's what it looks like to me. I mean, it's nothing like ancient Sumerian or anything,
Yeah.
but that's carved in stone. So something I have no idea what it means. I sure like to know. Maybe
Um,
somebody can solve it.
Higher Ground wants to know that David, they've healed you before, and of course, I've talked about that in the book. Have they ever caused you any injury?
Yes. Matter of fact, when this first started, I was sitting in bed up against my headboard, me and my wife, and we was watching stuff going on. And all of a sudden, something was going on with her, and then it stopped, and then across my chest, my skin started peeling up like curly fries with three like somebody took something with razor blades or something, and my skin was peeling like curly fries. It scratched me. I don't know if it was marking me or what, but it burned too when they did it. But
Hmm.
that was done on purpose. They played jokes on me. I made them mad, and they got back at me. So let me tell you about this one time. I was outside working late in my yard in my garden, and I went to my bedroom window and I tapped on the glass, and then I tapped on it again. And then the third time I tapped on it, the blinds opened. I didn't see who was there. I just turned around and grabbed my stomach and started laughing at myself. Uh, I don't know if they thought it was one of their people out there or what, but the blinds opened up, and all I could do is like I gotta go in my house sooner or later, and it's dark outside, so I was like, man, there's not supposed to be nobody in my house, but I've had stuff like that happen to me too, and sound like gunshots going off sometimes. They right out of the blue. I made them mad about that, and then and they did it for about a week until I quit reacting to it. So, but yeah,
We got another question from Higher Ground. He stated that he wanted to know which beings actually consume humans, and I didn't really put much about that in the book, but you're talking about the reptilians, right?
yeah, reptilians, yeah, they eat humans, yeah, they do, and I mean if we was a cow, it's like and it's like humans eat cows, it's like it doesn't make us necessarily bad, but you know what I find the most interesting thing is we're all compatible. We
Uh-huh.
are all compatible, which tells me that we all came from the same source. And that's interesting to me.
Well, I believe that. I know there's a connection somewhere. Are we evolved or whatever? Are they evolved humans, or is there some kind of connection with human species? I believe there is. I really do.
Uh,
Um, Nancy's asking about historical record, and if you think you've got some type of ancestral bloodline that they want. I don't know. I know you had told me that you have had. I think your mother may have had encounters at one time. What do you think about that? You think that you've been marked for some type
it
of
could,
bloodline DNA or such?
it's quite possible. I mean, when we was kids, weird things would happen all the time, but
Mm-hmm.
we would always think there was ghosts in it, and I can tie it to these guys because we thought there was ghosts to start off with, poltergeist. Well, at least I did, and I just didn't believe in ghosts. And but I run that porthole that was open up in my bedroom at 9:30 a.m. in the morning time. That changed everything for me. But uh, yeah, Eckhart means German mystic. Eckhart did the doctrine of the Bible, and I guess he was helping Hitler too. I guess, but yeah, is a title. It's not even a name. So there could be something there. It could be something there. But I find out that if you ever see that movie Prometheus, where he drinks that cup of stuff in the very beginning, and all of a sudden he dissolves and falls into the water.
Right.
But coded DNA, everything that went in the water and everything and created life. But basically, I think that's what they're looking for. Is they're looking for the code in the DNA, because if you can get it all together, you can create gods. Not me and you. I mean, you can't recreate us as God, but you can create life as equal to God, and that's what. But everybody's got to come together and get along in order for this to happen, so everybody can share information. But they're trying to cheat and get around that, so that's why they abduct people. Is because they're looking for these coded DNA so they can reach godhood before us or everybody else. Sort of like a jealousy thing, I guess.
Well, I tell you, and I've mentioned this many times. I believe that people, I mean, humans being abducted, I think they're kind of jealous of humans for the fact that we have a soul, we have a life force, and it's something that they're trying to either get or get back. I think there's a lot to that, and I kind of formulated that from talking to you over the years and to talking to other experiencers as well. I think there's a lot to that. You think so?
Yeah. That's good hypothesis that they're looking for. So they're looking for because we're experiencing life in the flesh, and that's a big thing. We are not this. We are inside these bodies. Our not our consciousness, just our consciousness, but our soul, our energy, our life force. We live forever. I mean, and we keep coming back too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's and we keep relearning until we get it right, I guess. But it's just astounding that we're experiencing this in the flesh. And God said that we are his greatest creation. And he told all the angels to bow down to us, even the reptilians, and which causes bitterness. And the reptilian goes to God and says, I'm made of fire, and Adam is made of mud. I said, I'm not going to bow down to mud. And so the reptilians kind of split off from, God and created their own society or whatever, which is be Luciferian, I guess. But I can't say all reptilians are bad. I just can't say it because I've been helped.
Oh yeah,
there's all different types of reptilians too. So don't get me wrong on that. And there's like scaly, like snake kind of people that shape more like us, and there's reptilians that are like the winged ones and the Dracos and stuff. And there's some reptilians that are built like silverback apes, and their skin looks like more like a toad skin, all bumpity and grayish color. They more like the warrior types or the war type of entities or reptilians, but they're also different. They all have their own personalities. Everybody asks me if they're good or bad. Are humans good or bad? I mean, we slaughter babies by the millions every year. We
absolutely
kill each other off by the hundreds of millions, and we find ways to jerk each other over. Spend our days doing that. So are we good or bad? It's like they do what they do, and they don't find nothing wrong with it. But it's like over here in America, we eat cows. Over in India, they don't eat cows. It's like it's a sin. So are we good or bad as Americans? It's like depends who you're talking about. It's like so that's how they're so much like us. You guys would not believe, and they're very hypercritical.
I got a question here from Andrew Boyle. Have you ever heard of a race of humanoids called the Dero, Dero?
No, they never tell me their names. I have run across humanoid people before, but there wasn't full humans like us. But they don't tell me their names. They're there to do a job, not to make friends with me, mostly. So it's so many different races. I got the raccoon looking people. They're dark around the eyes. That's why that's the name I gave them. I got pictures of their children. I got pictures of them, full grown people. I call them the raccoon people, and they're a lot like us too. So, but they think they're better than us though too at the same time. But and they might be. I don't know. So,
well, you're speaking of animals and maybe cryptids. I got another one here from Higher Ground says that any of these visitors kind of resemble Sasquatch.
Oh yeah, they're with them. I seen families of them they're working with these guys. There's even, believe it or not, there's even the guy with a Cyclops. The guy with the one eye. It looks like the abominable snowman with one eye. He's like silverish gray color. or whitish, and I only seen one of them, but they exist. They exist, and yeah, the Bigfoots are with them too. They do jobs for them all the time. I don't know
Well,
what they have.
I've had this theory for a long time that uh, that I believe that most cryptids are ultra terrestrial as well, that they reside on a linear dimension with a lot of these unknown species, not necessarily extraterrestrials, but I think there are a lot of humanoid species and other beings that reside together. And I think, I think there's a lot to that.
There is, yes, there is. And what makes us different from everybody else? Why are they kept away from us? That is the main question. Why are we separate from them? What? Because God knew that that everybody would be jealous of us, or what? I mean, I'd like to know that reason. Why we have the veil over our eyes that we don't see them, but they know all about us. That's what blows my mind.
Peace wants to know, and they had just got here, but she wanted to know, why did a reptilian crouch by her bed, then spit in her mouth when she turned and looked at it? I have heard that before. Have you ever heard
Me
anything
too.
like that?
Yeah, I've heard it whip on my chest before. Why run drool? I don't know why they drool. Maybe they're sharing DNA, or maybe they're germs or whatever. I have no idea why they do that. It's got to be some kind of custom or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Or something like, I'll be back for you or something. I don't know.
I've had experiences tell me that before. That's happened to them, and I didn't really think much about it. It's interesting that they ask you this, because I have heard that.
Me too. I sure have. This is not the first time. A good question. I mean, it really is. Thanks for sharing that, because you're not the first person, and that just kind of confirms it for me too.
Yeah. So. Nancy wants to know if these beings would allow you to list the types that pass through your home.
They don't. I can only list them and show pictures of them. And they're not going to tell me where they live, or how to get there, or anything like that, because they're not going to give away the location, because we could send a bomb there, and they got to protect their own species, and they could care less if I know their species or age or like that. And I don't know how these other people get some of this information, or they're here to save our planet and everything else. I
think a lot of that's conjecture. I don't think.
Yeah, that's they're pulling your leg or something, because they don't care. They really don't care. But I mean, they don't want us to destroy this world, but they really just don't care about what we do. It's like,
when you and I first met, that's pretty well what you told me. I mean, that there are limits as to what I can know, and I respected that, and I knew that, and but I think I was privileged enough to find you and to be able to get involved with that. Thank God I've never had any problems with. I guess I haven't pissed them off at any point because I haven't been attacked. But no, I've never really had a problem. Though I did have the encounters and the abduction at one point. So,
well, Lon, you stuck your neck out long and hard for this. When you started posting this, you taking a beating under my name of putting this stuff out there. I mean, people are just brutal out there on the internet, and you stuck with it and everything. So and it's evolved. It's taken on its own thing, and yeah, I appreciate that you sticking your neck out for me and you posting the stuff that you posted, and people just like, it's too fantastic to be real, because what they've been conditioned to hear before me coming along and saying my story, and I wasn't contaminated what everybody else was saying at first until later on when I found an interest in it. So and they're just like us, and people don't like that idea, I guess.
Well, it's been a journey. I'll agree with that. I mean, it's been an interesting journey, and I've learned a lot, and I appreciate you for doing that and allowing me to be a part of this. And yeah, I mean, it's. I'm just glad that I'll be honest with you. I did have some pushback, of course, and of course you have as well. But I think as time has gone on and as things have happened, people realize more and more that have come out and that, your story's true. I mean, you really are going through all this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. The whole family done it. It's good to have it on our family. And, but we all still good with each other, but it wreaked havoc. It's just wow. Yeah. The kids want to burn down the house.
That picture it's up there now. That's a transport opening, isn't
it? That's like you see on Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yeah, and very interesting. When I was watching that was going on is it was just like Star Trek, and
I got another question. And Peace, thanks to Peace for the donation. Always appreciated. Nancy wants to know, so we don't interbreed and become one race? That's an interesting question. We always hear a lot about this, these hybrid programs and that they tried to interbreed with humans and such. I think they may to an extent. I don't know how you feel about that, David, but I don't, I think there may be an agenda for some type of singularity at some point, but and of course they have an agenda. We know that they have some type of agenda. So, but I think the agenda is probably less innocuous as opposed to what some people think, that they're trying to destroy humans. I think they're basically trying to get answers for the most part.
Yeah, that will never be eradicated altogether. We'll never go completely extinct. But there's so many of us on the other side at the same time, and and the breeding programs, they do really good at making these children. I mean, some of them are just fantastic, and they any of them's defective, they take care of that too, which is kind of sad.
Well, you went through that. I mean, basically,
we're all compatible, and entertaining. They do. It's important to them, and so I'm surprised that more Hollywood stars and stuff like that they're not abducted and stuff. They might be not saying anything about it because you know where this goes when you start talking about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But so they might be getting abducted a lot and just not saying anything. But yeah, the reptilians, they hold their status in life by their DNA and where the DNA came from. They're very proud of that fact, and they state that when they talk to each other. It's like, I'm so and so from the second clan of the tribal, my grandfather or something like that, and they're proud of what their DNA is. So I don't think they're going to be mixing too much of their DNA with ours, because they're very proud of who they are. But
I think from the information that I have gotten from you and from other experiencers, I think the hybridization programs that they use are more human hybrids mixing with actual humans, as opposed to more aliens and human hybridization. I think it's it's usually some type of being that is more human than alien, that is trying to breed with a human, or however they do it. Are they trying to refine the species or the hybrid? I don't know, but it seems to me that's what I hear a lot of.
They're breeding for specific jobs and stuff. So if you need if you need a worker that's going to shovel mud, or you need somebody who can go down and mine certain minerals that can handle it better than other species, they're going to do it. They don't make machines like we make them. They grow somebody that can handle the job, and if it takes 1 million of them to do, then that's what the order is. Make 1 million, and then when you're done, you're pushing up daisies instead of rusting oil everywhere, and
Right.
the whole mess. But that's how they fly. So
James has got a question. Do the reptilians feed on chemicals that our bodies make when afraid, or spinal fluid? What do they actually feed on, David?
I think yeah, they can get the endorphins out of the blood, and on top of that, if they're eating children, it actually can reverse their aging. And plus the babies are a delicacy. But yeah, I think they do it for several reasons. Maybe to make God mad, or they actually really like the way we taste, or there's several different reasons, or we're cheap food. It's like, yeah, it's like these guys they're crazy. I mean, they'll pull somebody out of line and eat them right in front of everybody. They do it to create fear, I guess.
I remember you telling about some of these. You showed me some of these beings that they feed on.
That guy right there is the money guy. His money pays for all the operations here at my house. This guy.
Oh, that's that right being right there.
Dresser. Yeah, that being right there. He was actually looking for his cat, because I have a cat here at the house at the time, and he had 4 cats, and one of them was missing, and he thought maybe he lost one here.
Is that right?
You see him scratching his head. Yeah, the original picture is way clearer than that. It's a beautiful picture. That one's kind of fuzzy on my computer, that is, but yeah, he's the money man. They call it capital. They don't call it money. They call it capital. But
right.
Yeah, he's all dressed in white, and he's just sitting in a chair actually, and then the portal opens up right there, right above my dresser, and I'm like, holy crap! But yeah, nothing dull around here. But
yeah, well, I know that. I mean, I've had you tell me that you've come home from work and you see them in there messing around and doing stuff and stealing stuff and bringing it back and forth and this. Yeah, it's interesting. Maury Gaddy asked, have you ever experienced angels, or what you believe are angels?
I don't know. I'm my own skeptic on everything. So, I mean, I experienced beings that are like light beings, and I've experienced hardcore stuff that, and and the reptilians are angels. They come from God. We're all part of God's plan. But so I guess we're all kind of angels in one aspect, but not that you would see that would come down and watch over your child or give it a blessing or whatever, like you see in these pictures and stuff. No, I've not seen anything like that, but I've seen light beings that would look like an angel. I've seen, I got to convince myself of what they are. It's like, because I don't have a name for them or anything like that. I just give them the nicknames myself. But good question. That's a good question.
Peace wants to know: does this stuff ever overwhelm you? And she said it would them.
Yeah.
I will say this: I've known David for all these years, almost a dozen years. I don't know how he puts up with it, but I know sometimes that you have been a bit flustered with him, and you've gotten upset with him at some points. And yeah, I mean, I don't want to answer that question for you, but I know you have been.
Well, yeah, I haven't had a decent night's sleep in 20 years, folks. 20 years, maybe 2 hours a night, and it's just because I can't take it anymore, because I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, just when they take you out of the house, you know it's happening, and your heart's thumping. It's like, and you're traveling with them, and you don't know if you're coming back. You just don't know if you're coming back or not.
And, well, you've told me that. You've told me that you just don't know. You just believe, and I think you do believe, that one day they're going to take you, and that's going to be it.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be it. That's what I believe is going to happen. but and they'll be done with me. You know, I was like, when they're done with me is what is it? I don't know what's gonna happen, but they said I will find out. I will find out too.
Hmm.
But shit. It's like, but there's never I know zero privacy. I can't have a date over without them screwing with my date. You know, it's like
Is
or
that
anything like
right?
that. Yeah, it's just like it's incredible. I mean, and you know what? I find that women can handle this better than guys. I don't know why that is. Women kind of take it for what it is, and they're cool with it. I mean, they don't exactly like it, but guys, they just like they start bouncing around like Mexican jumping beans and stuff. They're like even skeptics that come over and say, "Dave, I want to see this. I want to see it." It's okay. I'll put you on it, and
Wow.
they leave here a different person every time. Uh,
Um,
yeah,
Nancy wants to know, has the interaction with
yeah.
you slowed down since the film crew had come?
Our radio shows, our
What's
radio
that
shows
again?
always end up like our radio shows always end up like this, in and out. I don't know
Yeah.
why that is. I don't know. Um,
No. Have the interaction between you and the beings slowed down since you started working with the film crew?
it actually picked up.
Yeah.
It picked up, and then but when the last investigator John left, it's slowed down. But it's only been a couple weeks.
Well,
Yeah,
I tell you what, we're starting to get a little interruption here, so we're about that time anyway. So, David, I want to thank you again for coming on. It's always a pleasure having you on. I know everybody likes to hear you talk about your experiences and such, and I think what we're going to do is get you on a roundtable at some point as well, with when we have the next alien or extraterrestrial roundtable, and see how you interact with some other individuals, and it might be an interesting discussion.
absolutely. That would be great. That would be great, Lonnie. I would love to do that. Maybe you can get what's the name on it? It's a mutual friend there, the
Yeah.
female. Yeah, that'd be great to put her on there, and that would be good. And yeah, that'd be awesome. I would love that. And
Okay.
everybody go to my TikTok. It's Eckhart David 2, number 2. That is. Um, and I got a bunch more videos I posted on there, and I try to explain everything as fast as I can. I'm always in a hurry when I'm posting this stuff. So, but I try to get it out there as fast as I can, and I got 10,000 photos. They just keep coming, and just bear with me on that. So I can say that because I'm always.
Well,
but
I'll assure everybody that when anything comes up or anything new comes up with you, I will post it on the blog and Facebook and let everybody know about it, and we will keep up to date with it. So, David, you have a good weekend, and I'll be talking to you very soon. Okay.
yeah, absolutely. Take
You
it easy,
take.
Lon, and
Okay.
Vince too. So,
Okay. You take care now.
all right, thanks.
Hmm. Now, if you have an unexplained encounter or sighting, feel free to contact me directly at Lon Strickler at phantomsofmonsters.com or through the Phantoms of Monsters blog site. Also, if you would like your encounter or sighting read on the show, please forward to my email. I may even post it on the blog. Again, I want to thank David Eckhart for joining me this evening. And thanks to each and all you for watching and chatting. If you made a super chat donation, it's truly appreciated. Your support is what makes this all possible. So please click the subscription button and also become a member of Phantoms of Monsters Radio. Now, next week, we will be hosting another roundtable discussion, and this time it's going to be Bigfoot. And joining me will be Shane Corson and Carter Bouchard. And we will have another guest. We're working on that right now, but it should be a very interesting show. So until next week, stay healthy, and have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Good night.